Alright, welcome back everyone to Tales of Rise. The cutoff last time, personal problems, my brother, younger brother, he, it's complicated. I live, he's my half-brother, he lives with my dad,
I think it's safe to rest here now.
it's a complicated mess, so, that's as far as I can go.
I bet the whole of Dan is losing its mind right about now.
And just when we'd finished liberating all the realms. So much for things getting somewhere close to normal.
It's too calculated. As if whoever's behind all this was watching us.
The people of Pelegion seem pretty unfazed given the circumstances.
They've yet to get the full range of their emotions back. Maybe it's for the best. Can you imagine the panic otherwise?
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to leave, that's for sure.
Whatever Lenegis is planning, it's a fair bet this wedge they've sent down is just the beginning.
Even now, they're stealing away Dana's astral energy as we speak. Come on, we don't have much time.
Alright, here we are. Cannot teleport around. Wait, aren't you part of... You're trying to get back to other realms without a study boat? There isn't much you can wait. I take that back. I remember one of the elders who recently started talking a little, mentioned something. Apparently back in the day there used to be a way to get through fallen mountains, but not anymore. What could it have been? I'm gonna have to turn the music up a tad bit. I hope that's not too loud. I hope you can hear me if I talk properly. Yeah. You trying to find a way to the realms? Can't say I've heard about any. If we knew about any like that, everyone would have just had to hunker down in Sicilum. Cecilum. I can't say that properly, dang it. When that thing dropped out link is the sound. Oh my, I thought the mountains were collapsing.
Where are these Forland Mountains exactly?
Those are the mountains you encounter if you walk deep enough into the Lavtu marshlands.
I don't remember there being any sort of path like that around there.
It's possible we overlooked something before. It wouldn't hurt to look again.
Armored soldiers!
Some of Volron's former guards.
Let's take them out quick before things get messy.
And right back into a fight as soon as we get back.
Lay on your arms and no one has to get hurt.
Silence! Traitor like you shall never walk free.
I knew you were stubborn. You don't have to be so damn dramatic.
Come on, come on!
The enemy will part too.
We'll soon see about that.
While it's reeling!
Take it down.
I can carve through armor! No further! I'm ready! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Mind if I do?
No art for you.
You picked the wrong fight!
Glacial Spear!
Orochi's Fury!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here's a healing arc! First
Orochi's Beckett, that everlasting Negative gate! Resonate with the earth!
What's with the hole here? Is that supposed to be their hideout?
It doesn't look like it's freshly dug, whatever it is. Maybe it's the entrance to a path to Cyslodia. Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Let's go.
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me?
Tell me, Alphen, wherever did you learn how to wield a sword?
I was wondering the same thing too, actually. I'm guessing you knew how to fight before you met the Crimson Crows, right?
I used to be a soldier who served a Dahnan master. I never saw the guy's face, but I still fought for him because he was my employer. Looking back, it wasn't all that different from being a slave.
A Dahnan master? That must have been before the Renans brought you to Lenegis 300 years ago.
You must fight using real Dahnan techniques then.
Really? We used to have our own sword arts?
There's a lot of our own history we've lost since the Renans first invaded. It's not all magic and art. I'm sure it includes things like sword styles too. It's incredible and also a little surreal to see those arts still survive after all this time.
Not only that, but I first learned these moves while serving one ruler, only to end up turning my sword on the ruling class altogether. Pretty ironic when you think about it.
I apologize if I dredged up unfortunate memories for you.
Nah, we're good. It's in the past now. All we ever did in those days was stir up trouble.
You're using those skills for a good cause now. It's not all bad.
I suppose this is what people mean when they say that every cloud has its silver lining.
Exactly. He's using those sword skills to make the world better. Could be a lot worse.
True enough. I will stop worrying about mentioning it then.
Alright. Let's continue on. There's some chests I'm forgetting to grab. Have to grab the owls too, because I keep forgetting the owls. They're a pain in the neck
This
to
place
find.
is rather gloomy.
Why don't you lighten the mood for us while we're here then?
I'll see what I can do.
No wonder we couldn't manage to find them. They've been holed up here all this time, hiding.
The remnants of Volron's forces. You think they were planning an ambush on Pelegion?
Possibly. Then again, knowing how blind their devotion is, maybe they were just waiting.
Waiting? For Volron, you mean?
Even though we already defeated him? But yes, I suppose you're right. For these guys, that would just be a technicality. They act more like worshippers than subjects. They're probably still in denial that he was overthrown in the first place.
Either that, or they were biding their time until the next crown contest. Either way, their allegiance is to their lord.
Who they're convinced and expectant will return. So in the meantime, they wait patiently in preparation for the day that he finally does. That's way more than just loyalty. It's no less than total subjugation.
Go for it. Also, sorry about the sudden cutoff, Alia. Last stream. Family business with my brother came up. And then over half the town went out, so I couldn't stream yesterday.
I don't know what I feel about you. I really don't.
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Oh yeah.
Commander of Heaven.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Zephyr was...
You've noticed it, haven't you?
Notice what?
I'm referring to Shion.
I never thought you, of all people, would come to me about her.
Yes, well, what concerns me has more to do with what machinations may be currently unfolding in secret on Lenegis as we make our way along this tunnel.
And you're saying it's related to Shion in some way?
Perhaps. She believed there was a good possibility that the Renis Alma may free her from her thorns. One would think after losing the Renis Alma, she would be more dismayed, and yet she isn't. Why? There's also the matter of the power that she inherited from...
You heard what she said. She didn't know about the Maiden's power.
Mere ignorance does not preclude her deep connection to the events unfolding around us. You recall when her thorns went rampant in Castle Delpharis. I've never seen dark astral energy manifest in such a way.
I thought you said all Renins had dark astral energy inside of them.
Correct. However, what Shion exhibited was far beyond what any ordinary citizen could ever possibly possess. And let me be clear. I do not intend to cast doubt on Shion, or her motives. Nevertheless, I cannot shake the feeling that there's more to all of this than what we currently know. Do you disagree? Discourteous, aren't you?
Yeah, it seemed Rosie still... I'm wondering what the... Yeah, they never bring up the main problem of why Rosie left. They just say he left. I'm...
That was almost too
Unless
easy.
that's...
No enemy can stand against us.
If only every battle went so well.
I wonder what we can make with this.
If you can't decide, I'll have it raw.
Hey, wait! Don't eat that!
Your stomach is a bottomless pit. Shion, stop eating everything.
Get lost! One more! You got company!
Jaeger's only making name for themselves in the battlefield. That's...
Your wings won't save you from me!
That line is just... stupid. Considering the actual trauma, what a Jaeger actually translates to. They make a name for themselves in like a dozen different fields. On the battlefield, in the dark, they can make an... That's the thing. They make it try to seem like that is difficult feel, but...
Small, but but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
It's obvious that people used to go through here in order to get to the other realms.
You think Volron really did seal it off to keep it hidden then?
Seems like it. Those soldiers we encountered might have known about it, and chosen to hide out here.
But with the entrance collapsed and exposed, they must have been forced to come out of hiding.
Speaking of
Let's see
stuff,
what you've got.
it feels at the moment they're trying to give Charlie a redemption arc. At least that's what it felt like at the end of Cold Steel 4. That they're trying to get something like that set up.
No sooner said than done. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Everlasting darkness. Negative gate. Okay, here I go.
I owe you, Tion. Healing is what my arts do best.
I'm ready.
Oh, mine can
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
radiant heal. Well, looky here.
What's this thing?
Finally.
What is it?
I found an ingredient for that new recipe.
I see supplies and other signs people were living here. Even Zuko pages.
Definitely looks like this is where the remnants of Volron's forces hold themselves.
Little help.
I'm just hoping they don't go along a line of... What's the best way? When we get to the time step period, we're not going along the lines of bullcrap, these events have happened before, all that stuff. We know that Korra was the time step period. We're pretty sure on that.
You have such an incredible technique.
Brute force is nothing without elegance of form.
I don't know if I...
But for some reason, I have a feeling they're going to make it. So, oh, this all happened before, so all these events play out all the time, so no one can be truly bad since they're all set events. Because that's the kind of feeling I am getting.
Looks like some solid equipment.
And with the way the stuff I've seen of Korra, it seems... like that's what's... there's something similar to what I'm saying up. Which... I don't know what to say to that. Because if they go along that route, it just ruins a lot of things.
Plenty for you all.
Glacial spear. Steel force. Explosive ring.
We turn the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Lightning raging cascade. Sweet mountain.
I'm ready.
I'm out. Kisara, go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
I'm practically unstoppable.
My word. This must be the work of Providence.
Proba what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration.
How much do they have to steal from us to be satisfied?
What's that thing's purpose anyway? Some kind of siphon that sends the astral energy the Lords harvested to Lenegis?
Not as far as I'm aware. That said, it has become evident since the forming of the Renis Alma, as well as other recent events, that my insight may be thin. I would, as I believe the saying goes, take what I say with a grain of salt.
Dohalim.
At the very least, I believe we can assume that whoever is pulling the strings behind the scenes has had this in the works for quite some time.
Why's that?
The people on Lenegis may have plenty of resources at their disposal, but not even they could prepare something like that in a mere month. Something of that magnitude takes considerable time, as well as a predetermined goal in mind.
Then what was the crown contest for?
At this stage, I think it was but one step in the greater scheme we see unfolding before us. What that scheme is exactly, I haven't a clue. For now, I believe we should keep moving. The path continues. It's quite possible it will take us all the way to Cyslodia.
Agreed. Let's keep moving.
So Shion's thorns are dark astral energy.
Rinwell. Are you worried about Shion?
Of course I am. But I don't know how to talk to her about it.
You and me both.
It doesn't get too preachy about it. I do think Tales of Abyss, this does get a tiny bit preachy, but I don't think it gets to the level of what's the best word to describe it? It doesn't get to the level of being irritating. But I'm more talking about a few... I need to replay Tales of Abyss. I've been trying to find the time, but I just can't. Speaking of which, I have to check something. Aw, nope.
Come to think of it, what happened to those 4 lights that fell from Lenegis along with the wedge?
All 4 of them scattered in different directions. It's anyone's guess where on Dana they might have landed.
I'm not entirely sure, but it seemed like those lights may have all been different elements of astral energy.
So even though they're using the wedge to siphon off energy from Dana, they're shooting it back down to Dana as well? Why?
I don't know. It all happened so suddenly.
Hopefully it's not a sign of some new threat we'll have to deal with.
But if that red woman has anything to do with the wedge, then what could that light...
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh?
The Red Woman. Shion and Dohalim said they'd never seen her before Pelegion.
Are you saying they're lying to us?
No, it's not that I think they're lying, just... there has to be some reason for it, right?
Well, one thing the 2 of them have in common is that they're both Renins.
Okay, you 2. Put a pin in it for now. I know that we're in the dark about a lot, but for now, let's focus on getting through these mountains.
Yeah, of course.
Good question. Because I just haven't changed them back since the game changed the costumes to what they had. Let's see what we got. Ooh. Nah. Ah, actually looks nice. No. I'm not changing the katana. Oh yeah, the Jaeger weapons went to your average weapons to some very, very absurd things. Giant Gauntlet I could somehow get, but some of those rifles... That's cause they were basically involved. That's what the Red Constellation basically was. They just... But... But with Zephyr, they got kinda just weird. Wait, no. Double A. I think that was the first actual sniper we saw in full shield from a Jaeger too. Reconcile armor. Reconcile it. Yeah. Why? Colorful session, I forgot about that. No. Yeah.
Might go well in that
You
new
might have
recipe.
mentioned it at one point, but
Can't wait to see what you make.
You're the one making it.
my brain not remembering. Oh, and also, I can do this finally. Skill panel. Holy crap! Huh. The poor quality katanas at the time though was the reason that they were able to make their forging techniques became so good because they had to rely on what they had. I can't remember what that. I think that was a. I think that was actually there for a. It wasn't aesthetic. With actual katanas, there's a different type of god. But not, I'm not. But the god he has is weird. Some katanas have a specific type of god. The one Rin has though is. Yeah. If they did the right god, it would have been perfect.
I won't forgive you! Annihilate thousand gales, tear you to shreds! Freezing storm!
Everlasting darkness.
Negative tornado!
Burn! Prepare to be sealed, O fleet of foot. Actually, perhaps found is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
I'm ready! Heal! Thanks. Let's refrain from losing.
Hey, look at that enemy. It's shining.
Oh boy. Can't pick an item up because there's an enemy there.
Not on my watch.
In a bind?
It's over. A freezing veil is cute and stuff, but they're vicious.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Take and again.
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
The best I'd say for the,
Show you mine if you like.
That would be really awesome, Tiana.
to at least keep the mobility, I'd say the max you should go for that is a leather guard, so it doesn't interfere too much. Cause go any
That was almost too
heavier
easy.
than that,
No
and it
enemy
could
can stand
cause
against
some
us.
problems
If only every battle
in how
went
you
so
move.
well.
How do I get lost?
It sure got cold all of a sudden.
Just
after
leather
we passed the
gauntlets.
peak.
Not armor. Basically gauntlets like you're saying.
Yeah,
But
we're getting close.
quick. Go for it. I'm probably not going to be playing that game again anyways, so spoiler all ahead because I just couldn't stand it. I think it's Hardened Leather's Gauntlets I'm thinking of. But yeah.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Thousand gales, tear you to
It would
shreds!
appear I attract too much attention.
I can shatter any steel.
Here I go.
Why? Why make a character to have one-sided?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about
As
that.
impressive as always.
Here I hope there was improvement.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Shion actually look flustered. Tempest Blazer! Where that came from? Flawless Flight!
Here I come!
Glacial Spear! Fierce Evil! Thunder Blade! Freeze Lancer! Well, looky here.
So many enemies.
I'll take you all on! Orochi's
None
here!
shall escape my judgment!
Can you take it? Elusive deity! I'll face you!
Is that statue wielding art?
I'm
Now
ready!
I've seen
Totally!
everything!
In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Orochi's fury!
Does it hurt? Resonate with the earth!
Do it, Deluxe!
That just sounds
Energy!
depressing.
Into everlasting darkness. Negative
Firmament
gate!
Render!
That
Resonate with
just
the earth!
Flame! Reload! Hell Squall!
No inside is
Here I
yours
go.
to be let free! You picked the wrong fight! I'm ready! Small! Look sharp!
That just sounds depressing.
Well then, let's keep moving. Out of our way!
Orochi's fury! I owe you one.
I've used too much. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
That's even more depressing.
We've got flyers!
I've got it! Let a marksman handle it!
Orochi's fury! All yours!
Resonate with the earth!
Explosive ring!
In here!
Orochi's fury!
This'll come in handy. I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Can't open it until I take them all out.
Won't forgive you!
You're mine! It's over!
Glacial Spear! Fierce Evil! Freeze
You're
Lancer!
mine!
Vanquish
Orochi's
Darkness!
fury!
Elusive deity!
Try this! Explosive ring!
I can't hold on any longer!
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
We play better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Of course, the childhood friends.
Trip it up! Hurricane thrust!
Okay,
here I go.
Magic!
Infernal torrent!
Aqua
Flame inside me! I still got a ways to go!
I found...
So, by God, I think that. Yep.
some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
We made it to Cyslodia.
We need to get that bridge down somehow.
It looks like we can control it from our side. Let's take a closer look.
Are you okay, Law?
Hmm? Oh, fine. Just thinking. The past is a real downer. That's why I'm focused on what's ahead of me. You?
Yeah. I'm going to stay the path. As long as we're all together, I know we'll be all right.
Same here. Now let's get moving.
I don't understand some of the choices they made for Echoes at this point, because now I'm utterly confused with some of the choices they made.
Oh, good. We can cross through here.
Stop! Who goes there?
My name is Alphen. We're not your enemies.
Did you say Alphen? Slap me silly, it really is you!
Forgetting someone?
Rinwell! Oh, glad to see you're doing okay.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're patrolling the realm. Never thought I'd bump into you all on my rounds, though. Heck, enough of me, though. What's going on up in the sky? Feels like the world's gonna end.
That's what we're trying to figure out ourselves. And as it happens, I've got a big favor to ask.
I had an inkling that's why you'd come back, as soon as I saw you in the distance. So you beat all the lords, huh? Damn, you really must be a hero.
I just did what I had to. So can you send anybody to help Ganeth Harros?
I think we can help out. I'll hit up the other resistance groups and rustle up some support. I doubt they'll have a problem sending people once I mention it's you who's asking.
Thanks. If you guys can help out, that'll give us a chance to do something about that wedge out in the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's something only you guys can handle. Speaking of which, that thing's out in the middle of the ocean. How do you even plan on reaching it?
By boat. We're about to go look for one.
No rest for the weary, I see. Hey, what happened to that mask you used to wear?
It's a long story. Let's just say I lost it.
I sure never expected to run into Bregan.
Cyslodia's probably in good hands with him.
Yeah. Now we can focus on finding a ship.
Well, yeah, that system gets annoying where if it's actual dialogue that expands the character's lore, but yeah, I know that just
A boat, huh? Where are we gonna find one of those? It's not the kind of thing people just leave lying around.
Especially not Renans. For an Imperial power, they never have shown much interest in maritime expansion. Still, I dare say there should be the odd small vessel here and there.
All well and good, but that structure's slap bang in the middle of the ocean. A fishing boat won't cut it.
Let's just try to find one that won't sink us halfway out, yeah? Not that it needs to be a huge galley like Almadria's or anything.
Just as well, since we've passed, let's see, literally 0 huge galleys.
All I know is we have to reach that thing in the ocean. Anything that might work, I say we try it. Thanks to Bregan, it seems like Ganeth Harros should be in good hands, at least.
I wonder who they'll send to look after things. It'll be someone from one of the other resistance organizations, no doubt.
They could do a whole lot worse than someone like Doc. A knowledge of medicine would go a long way there.
Wait, do you mean the old guy back in Calaglia? Ganeth Harros would be one hell of a trek from there. He'd have to get here first.
My brother's old second-in-command, Legil, would be a perfect fit, too. Pity she'll probably still have her hands tied up with work in Menancia.
Mahag Saar will be the same story. They won't have the manpower as it is, let alone enough to start exporting it.
Man, everyone's still struggling to get back on their feet, huh?
Knowing Bregan, he'll probably take things into his own hands. He seems like the kind of guy who enjoys a challenge.
Thinking back on it now, though, it does kind of make you realize just how many people we've gotten to know in each of the places we visited.
That's true. And each and every connection we forged is priceless. Anyway, we can trust Bregan to take care of things from here. Come on, let's focus on the task at hand.
I'll say this. The only game I have not been able
freezing.
It's
to...
always like this in Cyslodia.
Menancia was most fortunate, I see.
The only game I have not been able to finish out of pure just I didn't like the game was Fire Emblem Echoes. Fire Emblem Echoes is the only reason is the only game I never actually completed. Well, I also didn't finish Fire Emblem.
We finally made it.
Not Three Houses. Fire Emblem Fates, but that no, I did finish, but I didn't. I only finished the 2 storylines.
Well, if it ain't the Blazing Sword and his merry crew.
Mahavar? I can't believe you're still alive.
Course I am. If you landlubbers can make it out of that sinking ship alive, ain't no reason an old sea dog like me wouldn't too.
Yeah, but that wave hit hard. I'm glad to see you're okay. Sorry we put you in so much danger back there.
All water under the bridge at this point. You helped make one of my life's dreams come true. The ship, on the other hand, she took a bit of a beating, though, I'll admit.
Really? What happened to it? It looks fine to me on the outside.
She's fine now, but she was in rough shape when I made it back here. Engine chamber gave up the ghost. Without a lot of options, I decided to talk to the head honcho of the Dark Wings and see if he could help at all. And wouldn't you know it, Crazy Fool sent over Renan engineers to help. Can you believe it?
Renan?
Yep. Said they came from Menancia. They were real professionals. Did what they needed to and didn't give me guff or anything. I was damn near floored.
So they did the work themselves. Good on them.
Well, they did a bang-up job, because she's better than ever now.
Yes. We need to get out on the ocean, and fast. When can we set sail?
Give the man a minute to think it over, Alphen. He hasn't even said yes yet.
It's all right, little lady. I'm a man of the sea. I'll gladly help. Hop aboard, folks.
This thing already looked plenty huge from afar. Seeing it up close makes it really hit home.
I didn't expect the journey to go so smoothly. I figured the Renans would send something to sink us.
Maybe they didn't think we had the nerve to come.
Somehow I kinda doubt that.
It's entirely possible they don't see us as a threat.
What do you mean?
That they think they're beyond our reach. Still, this structure is quite the unusual sight. Truth be told, never seen anything like it.
You're right. It doesn't look like the buildings on Lenegis at all. Or like any Renan structure for that matter.
It's weird. It doesn't feel like the kind of thing that has people inside either. Yeah, it's definitely something creepy. What the hell is it even made of?
I don't know. It's not mechanical or biological, but it's definitely alive in some way.
Shion?
I'm okay. It's nothing.
Well, what do we do now?
We have to stop this thing from siphoning off all of Dana's astral energy. That means finding the core and smashing it to bits.
Okay, but look at the size of it. I don't know if we'll find the core just wandering around.
Good point. Can anyone get a read on the astral energy around us? Any kind of a sign?
There's a rather enormous flow of energy moving directly upwards. If we wish to follow it, we'll have to do some climbing.
Rinwell?
Over there?
Hey, what's up with you?
Huh?
You okay? What happened?
I'm not sure. When I was reaching out to the astral energy, I thought I heard a voice.
A voice?
Yeah. I couldn't make out any words, but it sounded like it wanted me to come to it.
This seems like a trap, right?
It's not a trap.
How can you tell?
Listen, I don't know why, but when it spoke to me, I knew it wasn't hostile.
What do you think?
It could well be a trap. However, it's also our only real option short of wandering aimlessly about.
Let's trust Rinwell on this.
You sure?
Yeah.
It beats the alternative, I guess. What did I say? Sheesh, it's like walking on eggshells around here.
Sometimes you have to choose your words more carefully, Law.
Huh? Oh, right.
Cutscene. Heaven or hell.
It's noisy in here, isn't it?
Things should calm down a little once we're through with this place.
Optimistic as always.
But now I could go heal if I have to.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
back to the wedge, and this time I'm prepped.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
What? Okay. Try to hold on to that. Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
I see that the interior of the wedge is every bit as strange and unusual as the exterior. Intriguing.
If I didn't see it come from Lenegus, I wouldn't believe it was Renan. Just what's with this place?
Yeah, it's all twisty and lumpy. Whatever it's all for, I'm stumped.
I remember this place being a bit of a maze.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Not today! Okay, here I go. Try this!
Leave the agile one to me.
Explosive ring!
Do it! Field!
Next!
As impressive as always. No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
Please, I've never seen Sion actually look flustered.
And the bubble is to me.
You got company. Hearts required.
I'm nearly done.
You must be tired of killing me.
I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Glad you're on out.
You're finished! Hold nothing back! Take this! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Orochi Fury! This one's all mine!
Precision, timing. All a perfect 10.
That's it? Nothing else to add?
You take meticulous care
You
of your
picked the
fire.
wrong fight! Try this! I'm ready!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Wow! Look what I just found. This'll make us even
Gotcha.
more formidable.
I wasn't expecting those kind of... Are those an actual thing?
What a rush.
Nope.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time.
Whatever you do, just stay away from the forge!
I can put on auto for a minute. I need to go grab a drink.
We'll soon see about that! There with the others. A whirling struggle. Magic annihilate!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right, no time to hold back. Here I come! Sword Rain out! I'm not done! Try this!
Do it! Get on in there with the others.
Resonate with the
Now I can let loose.
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword and with my thorns.
I'm ready!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
There's an M there, but there isn't. Large demi-human Allen. You could have done a little bit of
This is
animation
all
for
Dana's
that.
astral energy.
Are you saying the Renans are funneling it through here to send to Lenegus?
Sure looks like it. We have to put a stop to it. Quickly.
Now, this is the power I got confused last time.
This won't be easy. May 1,000 don't be such a pessimist.
This one's gonna be tough. You're finished. Catapult.
Safely Sharkin! Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
The abyssal deep. Clear for us.
Divine straight! There! So now! Pentecost field!
Rinwell. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around.
Certainly not.
Field! Lithium
Swordblade Alpha.
Radiant Banana! Astral energy! Full throttle! That worked like a dream. I pity anyone who stands in our way.
Sorry, it feels like I have a splinter in my left hand. I don't, but it's healing skin. It still sucks.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Raging Cascade!
Rising Wall. Dragon Form. I'm ready. Totally. In an instant. Impact Cross.
We work well together.
Like a finely timed wall.
Dragon Form. Try this. Explosive Blade.
One more time! None shall escape my judgment! Thunder Field! Raging Cascade!
Wind. Devastation.
Dance in the wind!
Raging Luna Storm. I'm ready. Double Demon. This should make for some good weapon crafting material. This seems strange. Like it should be among creatures you'd find in a forest.
Cut it out! I don't need to hear that. It's gotta be man-made, right?
Were it so, it would not be any easier to predict. Remain vigilant.
Brace yourselves. This one's tough.
Glacial Spear! Here's evil! Here's another!
Swordblade Alpha.
Raging Cascade! You're surrounded!
Rising Wyvern. Stardust. Mirage. Dragon Swarm. Swordblade Alpha.
In your deck.
We did it.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Theon actually look flustered.
Demon Fang. Stardust.
Abyssal deep. Clear.
Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory. Naturally. Ikara, go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
I think I'm getting stronger.
Come one, come all.
Snake of the abyssal deep. Good for us up.
Swordblade Alpha. Blew away.
Lightning Raging Cascade! Sleep now.
Sonic
Let's
Thrust.
get you off that
You
way.
were playing nice.
What in the world?
Dohalim, I'm alright. Still standing.
Dance in the wind! Sleep now. You are in tip-top state.
soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
As impressive as always. No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Xion actually look flustered. Astral energy!
Say no more.
Well done.
Begin. Be still.
Wow! Look what I just found.
Guess I misread the landing.
I'm not talking, just kind of blood out.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me.
Lunar corruption! It's like trying to keep up with a wall! Reload!
Stay calm. They'll provide a if they just sit still.
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Rising Phoenix! Rising Wyvern!
I'm ready.
Rising
You're really, really strong, Alvin!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still,
Leave the
it's
ensnaring.
reassuring to have you around.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope there wasn't too.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Dragon Floor. Resonate with the
You're mine!
Resonate with the
Will this help? May 1,000 gales carry you to strength. Healing circle!
You're back to take care of the dog.
Tear! Hurricane Thrust! Hold nothing back! Double Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
They really made us work for that one.
I'm back. Alright. Did it. Okay, now I remember why this was a maze before. Because I didn't, the doors confused me.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist. Gusty nail!
Rising Wyvern! Sword Rain Alpha!
Hitting Pile Driver. Flying Free. Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Looks like you came to my rescue alone.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword and with the thorns.
Shion.
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go. I can't heal you forever.
Transform! Sonic Thrust!
Resonate with the earth.
Divine
Stalagmite.
Struck! Wind!
Resonate with the earth.
Dragon Sword! Explosive ring!
Your blade moves like silk. I just let my instincts take over. How fascinating.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was improved.
No, I mean you're even better than ever. I can feel my precision improving. That equipment should...
This place definitely isn't easy to navigate. That's for sure.
I doubt this structure was conceived with the ease of people's movement in mind.
Yeah. We've been seeing nothing but Zoogle nests.
It's almost as if we're inside an incredibly immense spirit vessel of some sort.
A spirit vessel? If that's the case, then that would make Lenegis the master core that's receiving all the astral energy.
Hey, have you heard that voice again since we came in here?
Oh, so now you believe me.
I never said I didn't believe you.
The further in we go, the stronger the voice gets.
Is that a sign we're going the right way then?
Where's this voice coming from? Can you tell?
Yeah, kind of. I hear it inside me, but I feel like it's also coming from every direction around us. It's hard to describe. It's almost like it's surrounding me.
Surrounding, huh?
Considering astral energy is involved, it's not that unusual.
Right, but it's not scary or anything. Listening to it is really soothing.
If you think so, just promise you'll say something if the voice gets too clingy or anything.
I promise.
Oh, I don't want to fight one of these. I can avoid it. I think I can avoid it. Yes, Alexa. Screw it, I'll fight it.
Let's dispose of the trash.
You're finished, Stalagmite.
Where are you going? Raging storm! Two heads? That's not fair! Annihilation! Go get it!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! This should do it! Plasma shock!
Prepare to be sealed, Alito. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing. Sleep now. Let's get you all tucked away.
Explosive ring!
Magic is here. Seal.
Anything in armor is all I can carve through armor.
Is this what real pain feels like? I couldn't...
Make it in time.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
I owe you.
Gale Force. Annihilation.
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Man, that was again. Here to tread.
Ferocious Fury!
Raging Lunar.
Flame of Fury.
Explosive ring!
Prepare to be sealed.
Here's a healing arc.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
In the wind.
Ferocious Fury! You picked the wrong
Can't
fight!
hold on much longer.
I'm ready! Dohalim! In an instant! Impact Block! pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! Rising Wyvern!
I never miss!
You're mine! Orochi's Fury! Damn it! I'm ready!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for you to enemy art to me!
No complaints here! Negative change! Resonate with the earth!
Any more of this and I'll burn out!
Resonate with the earth!
We've turned the tables on it!
There are still more left!
Right.
ready!
Go.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
By the power of Radiant Dawn! Steering to it!
I can feel my power growing!
And chest. That's a lot of gold. Up.
We've sure climbed up a long way, haven't we?
Watch your step ahead. With no fencing in place, it would be quite hazardous to fall.
We'll be fine. Alphen's literally jumped off the tower and was fine. You'll be fine.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Not today!
I'm just so happy that you can turn. The auto doesn't apply while you're acting controlling the character.
Lightning radiant pierce!
Come and face me! Try this!
Pierce evil!
Explosive ring! I'm not done! Orochi's Fury!
Now!
Trigger!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done! Corruption!
Orochi's Fury!
Astral energy!
Try this!
Now!
Take this! Orochi's Fury!
Raging Luna Storm!
Lightning or raging cascade! Lunar
Can you take it?
corruption!
Does it hurt?
By the power of war! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more! They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Damn it!
Lionheart!
My watch!
Can't get out of this!
Try this!
Thanks! Just
Not
like
today.
raging... I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
Try this!
All mine can do is cause
Pesky
havoc
airborne
and destruction.
scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Try harder! Now! Orochi's Fury!
I think I'm coming down with something great.
A chronic inability to read the runes.
Coming through!
Chronic inability. Yeah, he does have that.
Now! Scarlet Inferno! Trigger!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
Mystic Mercy!
I owe you one.
I can't hold on much longer.
Orochi's Fury!
By your astral energy! Annihilation! Now!
Hurry! In an instant! Impact Claw!
I must keep striving.
You can ease off yourself.
Pot calls the kettle
Getting
black.
really fast.
Good advice for all of us, to be honest.
They haven't placed out so perfectly, you can't evade them. They placed them so perfectly, they're unavoidable!
We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
That equipment should come in handy.
Bloody coat.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist. Nobody bring us into next week.
Can you take it? Bestow thy mystic mercy.
I can't hold on much longer.
I'm merely doing what I can. Well drawn up.
I have no limits!
I'll heal you all.
Orochi's Fury! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me
Orochi's
help you.
Fury!
One more. Astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done. Shining supernova. Raging cascade.
Is this it?
Now. Andy. Burning strike. Here goes. All right. It's showtime.
I just need to get this area done, then I can head down, get more supplies, heal, and I should be fine.
I'm out of air. No more playing nice. Lightning Horizon. Thunderblade. Aqua. Searing Blade. Gemini Aqua. Photon Rage. It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming Wildfire. Here I do it. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes.
I think I'm getting stronger.
I should be able to This is where I get confused sometimes.
I need something to eat.
I was trying to run away, but no. Couldn't run away in time because I'm not allowed to, because they can still move while I'm grabbing items. One of the few games that does that.
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Raging storm! Swallow's flight! Lunar vanquish darkness! Gemini alpha! Lightning! Downfall! Divine streak!
Elusive deity!
Excited! I'm almost... Wind astral energy!
Does it hurt? What happened?
Photon blast! Lightning condemned! Thunder blade!
Raging lunar storm!
Wind astral energy! Lightning condemned! Thunder blade!
Catapult! Tempest! Catapult! Resonate with the earth!
Swallow's flight! Not on my watch!
Can't get out of this! I'll smash you!
Lightning condemned!
Snake of the abyssal deep,
Dance in the
clear
wind!
for us a path!
Sleep now!
Aqua Surf!
Further.
Lightning condemned! Thunder blade!
Run, run, run!
Last one out gets eaten alive!
One of these. Fine, fine. You win, game. I'll heal. I don't think you can run from this fight. No, you can.
This one's tough! Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite! Time to let it rip! Anything in armor is over. Try this! Very circle! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Orochi Fury! spell's finished.
May 1,000 gales
Orochi's Fury!
confiscated.
Pissed
Where
off!
are you going?
Orochi's Fury! Orochi's Fury!
Radiant here. Air thrust. Here I go. Elusive take away its fire. Light Astral.
Do you require a hand?
Catapult! Orochi's Fury! Orochi's Fury!
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your pain. Not try to be more careful.
Elusive Deity! Explosive Ring! Orochi's Fury! Ignite! Power surges through me. Can't get out of this! Now I can let loose. Orochi's Fury! Ha! Outline you! Elusive Fury! Try this! Explosive Ring! Raging Luna Sword!
Hold on to your art. Here I come. Getting
Orochi's Fury! Elusive Deity! Can you take it? Explosive Ring! Tornado Claw! Begin! Time to let it rip! Orochi's Fury! Show thy mystic will! I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heavens! Phoenix Cyclone!
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
Wait, why did I do that? There's a healing spot right here. Wasted those. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna save. Then I'm gonna load the 6529. Only a few seconds apart, so it should be fine. Yeah, so I don't do that stupid thing again. I can't do anything with the livestock. I am not there.
Here?
It's here?
Yes. All the energy flowing through the wedge comes together and collects here.
Is that thing a Zoogle?
A central core and a guardian?
Once we beat that thing, it'll stop the wedge from taking in any more astral energy, right?
It seems we're in for a fight regardless.
Here it comes.
Stay sharp, everyone!
Is there no end to what the Renins can cook up?
I don't know if that's machine or what,
but I do know it's pissing me off.
Watch yourself.
Alright, boss.
No knowing what it is capable of.
Any other wisdom you want to pass along?
I'm not doing any damage to it. One of these annoying boss fights. This is similar to the plant we fought in the freaking
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
in the place next to Menaceia's forest.
Don't mind if I do. Where are you going?
Can't get out of this.
Glacial Spear. Here's the evil.
Resonate with the earth.
Freeze Lancer. You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both. Freezing storm.
Rising Wyvern. Orochi Fury. This one's all mine. Ignite.
Healing circle.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Here's a healing arc. First aid. Radiant here.
Orochi Fury. Rising Wyvern. Rising Phoenix.
Mega Ray. Back into the fray. Vanquish darkness.
Explosive
You are in
Mike.
tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
As
Okay,
impressive as
she's
always.
forced down.
Here I hope that wasn't
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Xion actually look flustered. I owe you, Xion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction. May a thousand gales tear you to shreds. Here!
Explosive ring.
Let me help.
Okay, here I go. Eastern.
May a thousand gales tear you to shreds.
Orochi Fury.
Gusty nail! I'm out of ammo.
This is what real pain feels like?
Really? That was so close.
Divine Streak! Vanquish darkness! Let me help. Divine Streak! Vanquish darkness! Divine Art Expert coming through! Here's a healing arc. Firmament's Raider!
Okay, here I go.
Glacial Arrow Fall!
Do without this pain.
May a thousand gales tear you to shreds!
Thanks.
Gusty nail!
Orochi Fury.
Vanquish darkness!
Orochi
The
Fury.
enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
Explosive ring.
May a thousand gales tear you to shreds!
Mirage. Orochi Fury. I owe you. This one's all mine.
One to go.
Orochi Fury. Burn in
May a
hell.
thousand gales tear you to shreds!
Orochi Fury.
Gusty nail!
Rising Wyvern. Rising Phoenix.
Fall into thine own
Orochi
death!
Fury.
Consecrated! Seven-Eye Ultima!
Okay, here I go.
Dems! Thunderblade!
Orochi Fury.
Why did you redirect?
I'm almost impressed.
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get scared now.
Explosive ring.
Here's evil! Divine Fury!
Try this.
Mega Ray!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
I can carve through armor.
Dance in the wind! I can't hold on much longer!
Gone.
Banner of heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Is it over?
What the hell is going
Rinwell! What's going on here?
Dan?
Rinwell, you okay? Hey, are you crying?
I'm not the only one.
I heard it. Whatever it was, I heard it.
As did I. I'm not sure I'd call it a voice, but it was there.
What in the world just happened?
That was Dana's astral energy we just encountered. And I think what we heard might have been its voice?
You're saying astral energy has a mind of its own?
I haven't the slightest idea. But do you remember what happened when we fought Balseph back in Calaglia?
You mean when that fire monster came out of the spirit vessel?
Exactly. There was such a huge overflow of astral energy, it caused a monster to spawn and take physical form. Maybe the same thing happened here, just with way more astral energy and a bigger monster.
Does that mean if you gather enough astral energy, it can become sentient or take a physical form?
That's what I'm guessing, but it's just speculation. Master Cores are able to hold a lot more energy than a spirit vessel, but we still haven't seen anything like that happen in our dealings with them.
That being said, there may be a mechanism of sorts inside Master Cores and spirit vessels that prevent such reactions.
That fire monster. I remember how it only appeared after Balsef's spirit vessel broke.
Then the reason Rinwell was able to sense all that astral energy earlier must have been because it was too much for that Zoogle to contain by itself.
So, then where do you think the Zoogle went? All that energy and poof, it's gone. The Zoogle with it. Doesn't that sound weird to anyone?
Indeed it does. However, in order for us to move our hypothesis forward, we will need to gather more evidence first. On that note, how are you holding up, Rinwell?
I just can't work out why. Why the voice reached out to me first.
Rinwell?
I can't help but wonder if it's because of my heritage that I was the one to hear it. Sorry. That's a strange thing to think, isn't it? Anyway, we should get going, right? We need to make sure the energy flow has actually stopped.
Are we gonna have to take this winding path all the way back down, too?
Yeah, but if anything, it should be easier than the climb up.
Really? Well then.
Actually, I've heard it's easier to develop muscle aches when going down.
Seriously? Everything all right? You kind of looked like you wanted to get something off your chest.
Huh? Oh,
Or not, you know, whatever.
yeah. You know,
Yeah?
sorry, never mind. Just forget it.
You want to try being a little less cryptic, maybe? All right, jeez. Sorry for taking an interest.
Stop it! It's okay, Hootle! Sorry. I guess I still don't really know how to put it into words.
Nah, that's fine. No rush. It might help you to talk about it, though.
I'll keep that in mind. And thanks.
Me, I can teleport out of here. Please tell me I can teleport out of here. No, no, I can't. Because that would make it too easy. There's probably a cutscene we have to see on the way back. Meaning we have to fight all the foes on the way back. Fight anything else? Why do you force me to fight these?
Feeling about this.
I'm escaping here and getting. I'm gonna probably escape here and then I'm gonna be heading off.
Agile ones to me.
Of course I fall onto the enemy. No other option but to fall on the enemy. So I'm gonna get into a fight regardless.
Come one, come on!
Let's end this and get a bite to eat instead.
Now I've seen everything!
I'm not being given an option. I'm being forced to fight everything on the way out. To go, we have to fight all of it. See, it's in the perfect positioning so I can't run around it. Oh, great. Okay. If we get around it. Quite of a feeling the moment I open this, I'm going to have enemies spawn. No? Neat.
Whoa, this is amazing.
You always get excited when you find something good.
What is with that freaking rain?
Mystic mercy. Don't tell me.
Andre Savage healing art?
It is. I can't ignore your pain.
I'll try to be more careful.
Made it through.
Guess I misread the landing.
Trying to get out of here. Freaking wall was too high. I thought I could cheat it.
Snake of the abyssal deep. Clear for us a path.
The wise warrior knows when to call it quits.
Hi, Bells. Okay. There we are. There we go. Elevator. Out.
It looks like that beam of light has stopped.
Then is it safe to say we've avoided oblivion for the time being?
I can still sense a faint glimmer of energy, though. It hasn't completely dispersed.
You can tell? Rinwell, your senses seem a lot sharper than before, don't they?
And you said you heard that voice, right?
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't feel bad, though.
If trace amounts, however small, do remain, then it leaves us no choice. We must destroy the entire structure.
What do you suggest? We bring it down piece by piece?
Once that's done, what do we do then?
We go to Lenegis. Even if we could destroy the whole wedge like he suggested, it'd only buy us time. The fact they sent this thing down tells me they're not giving up this planet without a fight.
There's also the matter of the Renis Alma. Its circumstances still have yet to be truly resolved.
But how do we even get to Lenegis?
What if we hotwire one of their starships? There's gotta be one on the planet somewhere, right?
Starships are only seen on Dana at the start and end of the Crown Contest. Otherwise, they remain on Lenegis. Believe it or not, we Renans down here aren't quite as free to come and go as one might think.
Great. Well, I'm out of ideas then. We definitely don't have the tech to build a starship. And even if we found a Renan who'd help, who knows how long that'd take.
Yeah. Waiting for a starship to come down from Lenegis would probably be quicker than that.
Wait. Alphen, when you came down from Lenegis, it had to have been in a starship of your own, right?
Right. Oh, of course.
You can't be serious. That was 300 years ago. There's no way it's still gonna work.
But Alphen didn't wake up until a few years ago. That means it had to have still been functioning that whole time to keep his body preserved.
Indeed. You wouldn't happen to remember where you landed, would you?
My memories around where I parked are still a little hazy, but I do know that I woke up in Calaglia, so chances are it's still in the area. At least it's a place to start. Luckily, that realm's my old stomping ground, so I should be able to get us some help finding her.
This is it.
Yeah. As long as Lenegis stands there, there's no avoiding it.
So what's this help in Calaglia you're planning to enlist?
My buddy Nath. If anyone there knows something, I figure it's him. But first, we need to catch a boat and get back to the mainland.
Okay. That's it for today. We're rating Pommel, who is playing The Legend of Zelda. Won't give me enough time. Shut up, Majora's Mask for a second. See you all over there in about 5 seconds. And I might grind a little because I'm going to be level almost 40.